Okay, so I'm going to show you all the ins and outs of what it takes to be a bottle baby foster. I've been fostering for a little over 10 years. I've been fostering bottle babies for at least 9 years, almost 10. So I'm going to show you all the ins and outs of fostering bottle babies. And our little star today is going to be Mustard. Okay, and the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a bottle. I use regular human baby bottles. Dr. Brown's is my favorite, my go-to. You'll get a feel for what your favorite is. But I like the Dr. Brown's. And then puppy formula. I have tried many different formulas before. The Pet-Lac has been by far the best that I have used. It mixes well, it doesn't give too much gas, all that. It's just take my experience from it. This is the best. And then just depending on where you're at, we have a really good filtration system. So I just use regular tap water and it needs to be warm. But to do that is just literally, for these guys, I make a 7-ounce bottle. And it's for a 7-ounce bottle, it's 1 scoop per ounce. So it'll be 7 ounces of water and 7 scoops of formula. Okay, and then the next thing that I do before I feed them is we potty them. Their mamas will actually stimulate them to go potty. Since they don't have a mama, I'm mama. That's how we stimulate them. Just gotta rub, just gently. And if these guys are getting to the age where they'll start going on their own, so sometimes they will not go to the bathroom. But you want to do it every time, just because. And don't you worry. Yes, I am doing this in my sink. That's also why I've got bleach just sitting right here. Does not look like Mustard needed to go to the bathroom. So now we can feed her. Sometimes it will take a while to get them to go to the bathroom, but she's pretty consistent if she has not just recently went to the bathroom herself. Okay, and then find yourself somewhere comfortable. I usually tend to sit on my couch and feed them. Some of the girls that have done this do it at their kitchen tables. Grab a towel. Easiest way to hold them with one hand. You'll get the feel. And the easiest way to hold the bottle. Hold it with your thumb and your pointer finger. And you're going to use these to scoop and just kind of hold to kind of guide it. And they will start going to town. Usually the first couple of seconds, it takes them a second to latch on, but she's a pro. As you can tell, she's a little chunky chunks. And then she's usually eaten about 3 to 4 ounces. She's 2.5 weeks old, almost 3 pounds. Usually when they first start off, usually the first week, first couple of days, it will look like they are not eating at all because the bottle is not moving. They will only literally eat 5 to 10 mils. Sometimes 20, depending on the breed and the size of the puppy as well. But with time, you'll get it figured out on what they're actually eating. It took me about 2 days to realize she's not going to eat 2 ounces like her sisters are. She's wanting 3 or 4 ounces because she's twice the size of them. But she will go to town, and to tell how they're getting close, you want their belly to be firm, but not hard. You want it to be firm. So I'm going to let her eat just a little bit more and then we'll come back. Okay, so she has eaten 3 ounces. I kind of just use a towel and wipe their face off. Now, next step is going to be burping. So because they're drinking from a bottle, they're getting air. And you need to burp them like a human baby. You don't have to tap them hard. You don't have to pound them. I'm not doing anything to hurt her. I'm just trying to help force that air bubble up because they will burp every time. If they don't burp within the first, 45 seconds, I tend to rub them around, move them around a little bit. I've come to find out that does help a little bit. And you'll feel the burp right here. If it's not a loud one, you'll feel it because you'll feel it roll up and they will do what she just kind of did. I'm just kind of seeing if she's got any more in there, which I am not feeling. So you can see her belly is very rotund and she is now fed. Now I'm going to do the other 2 real quick and then I'm going to show you my setup that I have for them. Okay, so this is my bottle baby setup. I have a heat pad on one side. It is a pet safe one. And then I have an area where they can, if they're getting too warm, they come to, which they tend to kind of stay on this side, but they do come to this side. I have a waterproof pad on the pack and play crib mattress, and then just a sheet, a crib sheet. And then for an extra layer of protection, so I don't have to change that out 5 million times, we do put in a potty pad. Lay that right on top. And then I throw a couple of blankets in. Throw one down to keep everything from getting soiled. Urine will still go through, but that potty pad will keep it there. And that wash pad or that heating pad is water safe. I wash the cover and I can use Clorox wipes on the outside because it is a plastic. But I just throw in a couple of blankets because they like to snuggle and bury themselves. And then I use these guys. I have found that they like them better than the heartbeat dogs. I do have a heartbeat dog. It just depends. Usually if I have a single tin, I will use a heartbeat dog. But it's just a regular pack and play. I have a camera up here so I can kind of keep an eye on everyone. But they do great. They're in here until they're at least 4 weeks old, sometimes 5. And it works fantastic. What are you doing? So now with bottle babies, depending on how old they are and how big they are, will depend on how much they will eat and how often they'll eat. So my rule of thumb is that first week, if they're 1 week old, I will do every 2 hours religiously. A puppy can drink anywhere from 10 to 15 mils to an ounce in that first week. So Some will do even 2 ounces. Some of your fatties, not saying any names, mustard, will drink more. But then you've got my ketchup, where she maybe drink an ounce, ounce and a half at 2.5 weeks old. She's a lot smaller. She doesn't drink as much. Usually in the 2nd week, that's when you see their milk increase. And then also that's when I push it to 3 hours. In the 2nd week, I do every 3 hours. And then if for any reason at the 3rd hour, they are not awake, they're still sleeping, they're not making any noise, just sleeping, I let them go until 4 hours. I don't ever push it any past 4 hours at the 2nd week. When you get into the 3rd week, you can do every 4 hours. And then again, just like the 2nd week, at 4 hours, if they are still asleep, not doing nothing, push it to 5. Let them sleep. I don't go anywhere past 5 hours on 3-week-old. 4 weeks old, usually depending on the foster again, just you gotta kind of gauge it. At 4 weeks old, they're gonna start eating less often, but they're gonna be eating more. 4 weeks old is when we first start trying to do mush, which is, I soak kibble, puppy kibble, in hot water. Let that soak up. I add formula to it, mush it all up, basically make it super, super liquidy, and give it to them. After a little while, you can make it a little thicker, a little thicker, a little thicker, and then soak it less and less. Get yourself to where they're eating kibble by week 6. But yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know.